I know I'm a little bit too old to be going to school, but I do have a couple of kids who are school age. They're both in secondary school now, and I thought I'd share with you a few pieces of technology that you should look at for them, which I consider essential. Let's start with the elephant in the room, smartphones. I don't really want to cover them in this video, but I kind of have to because every child at school will have a mobile phone now. There's going to be a mixture of iPhones and Android phones, and I don't want to start talking about which one is best because it really is a personal preference. What I will say is, from my experience, don't go and buy your child the latest iPhone or Galaxy for hundreds of pounds. Whatever phone you get them, it'll be dented and cracked within a couple of weeks. You're going to need to pick a balance between a phone that's new enough to look acceptable to their peers, because let's face it, we all want our kids to fit in, and not being too old that it can't run the apps that they need. Genuinely, although my kids' school says that phones are banned from classrooms, they're used all the time in lessons. From creating video projects, using them for Quizlet tests and flashcards, they've become quite an essential teaching tool. Whichever phone you do choose for them, make sure you protect it with a case and a screen protector. These thin glass screen protectors cost a couple of quid, and it's a lot less than an actual screen repair. Your child will need a calculator, and the type of calculator they need depends on where they are in their studies. Let's start with those kids studying for GCSEs, or in fact anyone in years 7 to 11 actually. Casio are probably the most well-known brand of calculators, and for up to GCSE level I recommend the FX85 GT-CW. So why this particular model then? Well, it's approved for use at key stages 3 and 4. Who exactly it's approved by I can't find, but someone somewhere says it's approved for use in exams. It has a natural maths display, which means it can display your calculations like you'd write them down on paper, rather than having all of the information in a single line. It can also do basic statistics calculations and of course all of the usual scientific functions that you'd expect. This model also comes with a solar panel in addition to the battery, which means you don't need to worry about making sure you've got replacement batteries for it around exam time. They sell a version without a solar panel for a couple of quid less, but I really recommend you opt for this dual power version. This model comes in a variety of colours if that sort of thing matters to you, and at full price is under 20 quid, but keep your eyes out in the supermarkets because quite often they have them on sale and you can pick them up for about a tenner or less. Now, just here, this is the old model and it's been discontinued. It's still in the packaging because I grabbed it as a spare from Asda when I saw it on sale for £3.75. My son has already managed to lose one calculator and is on his second, so I figured I'd buy this third one just in case because it's inevitable that he'll need it. If your child is studying for A-levels, then you'll need something a bit more advanced. The Casio FX991EX is your best choice in that case. I think it's being slowly replaced by the FX991CW, which has got fancy round buttons on it, but for now both of them are available and they both have a built-in solar panel too. Functionally they're nearly identical, with the newer CW model including probability simulation. They can both handle probability distributions, vectors, matrices, calculus, plus all of the standard scientific functions you'd expect, and they also have basic spreadsheet capability too. You can pick this model up for about £35, or if you shop around you might find it for £25. Be careful about buying online though, because there are a lot of fakes around, especially on eBay. None of these calculators are graphical, so they won't directly plot graphs on their screens. You're looking at a lot more money for one of those, and whilst they can be useful, they're not necessary for school. But both of these calculators will generate a QR code that lets you display a graph on your phone. Both of my kids have been given access to Google Classroom through their school. The teachers use this tool to set and mark homework and get messages out to the classes. The pupils use the various Google apps like Docs and Sheets to actually do their school and homework. It was used a bit before the pandemic, but during lockdown it became the main way they all worked, and it seems to have stuck. Well, when my daughter started in the sixth form, the school gave her a Chromebook to use for the duration of her studies. I'm personally not a big fan of Chromebooks because they're a bit limited for what I need a computer to do, but it turns out for a teenager it's perfect. This is hers, and they gave her a low-cost educational model from Lenovo. Let's get this the right way around so as I can open it. She takes it everywhere. It's got, I see, a 10-inch screen, and it's small and light and easy enough to carry around. Let me just put that down again. If your school uses Google Classroom, then a Chromebook might be a really useful tool for your child, especially as you could pick up a really basic one for about £200 from somewhere like Curry's. They can do their schoolwork on them, and when they're not working, they're fine for browsing the web and watching YouTube, that sort of thing. Don't expect them to be great for gaming. They're not like fully fledged Windows PCs at all, although you can play Minecraft on them. One thing to be cautious of though is that all Chromebooks have an expiry date. For most modern Chromebooks this is 8 years, but be careful with old models because for some of them it's only 5 years, and that's from the date of manufacture, not the date that you buy it. Well, what does it mean then? Well, it means that when that date expires, Google will no longer provide your Chromebook with updates. That's bug fixes, security patches, that sort of thing. Your Chromebook won't stop working, at least not straight away, but over time things will become less secure to use. I wouldn't want to be using it to log into my bank if I hadn't had security vulnerabilities patched in the last few months personally. But 8 years is a long time in the life of a laptop, so this may not be an issue. Chances are your child will have smashed the thing open before then. Anyway, that's the 3 gadgets I think parents might want to consider when their little darlings go off to school. I know most of the big web stores want to try and flog you iPads, MacBooks and expensive Windows laptops as essential items, but honestly all they need is a phone, a calculator and a basic computer to do their work on. I hope you found this useful, and if you did then please give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more from me. Thank you for watching, goodbye.